Thank you, Shay. Great reporting from down there in pit lane. Back underway, green flag out. Mercedes 1 and 2 at the moment. There's a couple of Audis looking strong. The race gets underway, but John, there is a long way to go.
2 hours and 16 minutes for the pedants among you, and the increase in noise in the background as Shay was talking to Bruce Giovanni there suggests, as you might have guessed, that we are back under green flag conditions. Oh, big slide going round Griffin Bend for the leader there. And there is a little bit of a dark patch on the road there that I haven't noticed too many times before. That it looks like someone has either laid a lot of rubber down, or there has been, or is, perhaps a little bit of fluid down on the circuit. Blue flags waving pretty much constantly up the cutting for the field as it streams through. Schneider was 2.5 seconds ahead of Lee Holdsworth as they crossed the line, and Schneider has got a pit stop in his pocket over his teammates. Should mention, by the way, as the new set of Michelins go on the 33 car, the tyres are not unlimited. You do have a number of sets depending what class you are in, and you have to manage that over the weekend. Little problem with the right rear as the gun doesn't want to switch to tighten from slacken, and now he can't get it off the nut itself. Now he's got it turned around so that it'll turn clockwise rather than anti-clockwise. No, I'm not sure. That nut hasn't gone on properly, and this is a disaster. They did not need to lose this time. The 33 car is still standing on its jacks as they're trying to tighten that
Swap the gun,
wheel
boys.
up. The wheel gun will not swap over. Give them another gun. There, it's not going on. It is not going on. That right rear wheel is totally recalcitrant, and this has cost now half a minute, I would say here, Rich.
Unbelievable, isn't it? So remember, third place on the line, the number 5 Porsche. Matt Kingsley is behind the wheel, doing 14s. They are struggling. Surely you'd swap guns by now, because that one's not doing the job. It's got the knot off. I reckon they've cross-threaded.
If they're in real trouble, if they have. We've had Ferrari well. Now it's gone.
Safety car. We've got a safety car, guys, on the racetrack.
Get that car out, get him rolling. You do not want to be held at the end of pit lane, and they are. Oh, they're going to be. Let's see if they're held. Will we see them pop out of the end of the pit lane?
Yeah, they're
yes,
fine.
we have. He's out. Well, potential disaster averted, and that extra time taken. Not then to. Oh, this is the class leader.
I know.
It's the 60 car, the class leader that has been bossing their class, the Little Lotus, all day. And oh, that is a disaster for the One Cover Motorsport team in Class Invitation 1. The guys who've worked so hard to get that car even into the race, and it's run brilliantly all day. And heading up at Griffin Bend, they have a problem with the car that is going to require it to be pushed. Now, I don't think he's hit anything there, Rich. I think he's just come to a dead stop, and he's holding it on the brakes with the trafficator very helpfly showing that he's on the left-hand side. The marshal's giving the usual hand signals to push people over to the right, but he's in the blind spot. Oh, was there a moment of fire there from the engine? It looked like it struggled to go forward. Strange place to stop.
Real shame for the Motion Sport entry, looking well in the Maguire's Invitational class. A great stint from Matt Griffin, the Ferrari pilot. He's down in pit lane with Summerbow.
Matt Griffin joins me. Now we have to talk your splitter. Incredible driving from you, to be fair.
Yeah, it was really tough. I mean, the splitter became dislodged and was obviously vibrating, and it started off just a high speed, but then it was everywhere, and it was, you know, doing nearly 300 kilometers an hour and not being able to see where you're going is tough. But then it broke off, which was fine, but they still made us come in just to check it. Obviously with the splitter gone, we'll lose 90% of our front downforce, so up through the mountain was here's a place where you need front downforce, because you need, you know, when you turn the steering wheel, you need the thing to turn, and it didn't so much in that last stint. But you know, we're still to win it, or top 2 is difficult, but we're still in a big fight for third. So I gave it absolutely everything I had out there, and particularly the last few laps of my stint were just like qualifying laps.
He drove hard. Our Michelin race recap shows the issues that Matt Griffin had with the front of the Clearwater Racing Ferrari. That is the splitter coming loose. Into pit lane they went. Lost them track time, and crucially they're a lap off the lead, and the car now understeering without a front splitter. This is the Phoenix Racing Audi. They had some dramas with the blades on the side of their car. This was the Calvert Jones, Davison and Davison Porsche run this weekend out of the McElroy Racing stable. Big impact at Fulcrum Tyres, and that put an abbreviated end to their day. And the Ferrari team struggling with a slow pit stop, and last safety car for this car stranded at the top of Mountain Straight. This is the Michelin running order. Great battle going on. There's a tyre battle as well. Michelin and Pirelli duking it out. The Michelins have the upper hand at the moment, but a couple of Pirelli shod cars inside the top 10 and looking strong. And our class order continues to show the Rob Thompson Lotus looking good in Ridge's Class C. The GT4 battle, they're looking strong, and the local BMW has taken the lead in the V8 race production high performance class. The Liquimolly Bathurst 12 Hour has more to come and looks skyward. The windscreen wipers on in the background. It's starting to rain at Mount Panorama. Back with more right after this.
Yeah, down here in the pit lane and managed to bump into somebody rather interesting. You usually catch him on two wheels. In fact, we're going to have to just hold up for this because I think they're about to do something. He's actually working in the pits. Now, the face might be familiar to many Australians. It's Warwick Nowland, who is more accustomed to two-wheel racing around this country. He's had a connection with Yamaha, who have a connection with the #1 Phoenix racing team, and he's elected to be a mechanic of all things this weekend. Straight after this pit stop, we'll have a chat with him and find out why.
The reason I think of the pit stop is it started to drizzle on the front straight as well. There's just one or two spots on the commentary box window. Nobody gone for the... Oh, I had one or two brollies, in fact. I take that back, going up on the bank side opposite our commentary box. And good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for your commitment as we go back to green flag racing.
I was
now,
just...
There goes the Berdo car. He's at the head of the field and he's trying to stay ahead of the race leaders. They're going to Hell Corner. Now Berdo's got the race leader right up the inside. He's going to have to be very careful that he doesn't turn in, and he does not give very, very respectful racing room there. And in fairness, Bernd Schneider didn't push the arguments too far.
I was just about to get political, I was, John, and say I hope we don't get all OH&S on us and just keep the thing under safety car when it's raining, despite the fact the car's on slicks. But I'm glad we haven't. It's a bit of a bugbear of mine, but we've managed to avoid that. So Craig Baird in the Clearwater Ferrari. These cars are on slicks. They are going up to a very wet part of Mount Panorama.
And you can see now that there's definitely spray coming off the back of the cars, and the Baird car, of course, without the front splitter, he's staying to the inside, and the leader's on the dirty stuff.
And it's Van Gisbergen, known for being amazing in the rain in the Porsche, just behind, fourth position for third place in the Liquimolly 12 Hour. So Craig Baird just holding out the Kiwi.
I think he's another lap back, Van Gisbergen, at the moment.
It's 2:34 apiece.
Oh, I'll give you that.
They're 0.4 apart, so...
oh, it's torrential at the top of the mountain, and there's no way. And Gisbergen's lost the front end of the Porsche. He somehow gets it back. He's working the steering wheel. Those big wheels are not clearing the water at all. And now it's Aquaplane City up there. It's side by side at about 40 Ks for a position, and Van Gisbergen's going to unlap himself at literally 45 Ks over the top of the mountain. It's the slowest pass for position we've ever seen here, and it's remarkable stuff. The Porsche with a little bit more grip at the back, of course, but that means going down the hill he's going to have to be super clever and careful, otherwise he's going to turn that Porsche into the world's most expensive boogie board.
Yeah, one in the fence. The 27 GWS BMW has found the wall somewhere around.
Stopped.
I don't even know where it is, but it is torrential at the top of Mount Panorama.
Van Gisbergen goes straight on after, and he's not going to get that stop. He's aquaplaning. There's a bow wave in front of that car. He's now going to try and get it slowed down. Craig Baird is struggling as well, but he has got again back in front of the Mercedes-Benz, and it's hailstones. That looks like it's heavier than rain here. It's really big drops of rain, and that's coming. It's already hit the top of the mountain.
Yeah, this is utterly torrential.
Full course caution, I think. Full course caution is coming out for at least that 27 car. That's the car that's kept stopping anyway. They've had terrible electrical problems on that machine.
Now, a group of cars pitted, and I reckon they went to wet, so there's a group of cars that are going to be in very, very good shape, but this is utterly torrential. And
it's survival now. It's survival to get back to pit lane.
Unbelievable driving across the top of the mountain there by those guys, just creeping round to try and get back. And I don't know how they're going to get back to pit lane with that. That's
you ever seen a pass for position done any slower than that?
It was great, John. Fantastic racing. That's number 13 BMW. McKeldin, Linton and Fisher stuck at the top of the mountain. Let's duck down to pit lane very quickly. Here's Summer.
Harold Primat does meet me, and we're madly looking at the screens behind us. Talk us through it.
Yeah, well, it's just started to rain really heavy, and so it looks really close to impossible to drive, you know, with the slicks right now. So the team have made a very good choice to put rain tires right now, a little bit in advance than anybody else. So hopefully we can make up some ground now.
You were the first with the wet tyres. How do you think Johan will go out there? Obviously, debutant here, whole new terrain.
Yeah, I think it's to keep out of trouble, and hopefully, you know, having put the wet now, hopefully we can catch up some of those guys. You know, we lost a few laps for technical issues.